Hi, welcome to the So Now What podcast. This is episode 11. My name is Carrie and I want to welcome you. I am in my studio in Oregon and it's going to be kind of a shorter episode, I believe, because I'm getting ready to go on vacation. So I wanted to just kind of do a touch base with everybody. Because of the knit along, crochet along that I've got going on, I wanted to make sure that I touch base with you all, and then the next time I record, it'll be the end of the cow. So so I have had a great week. It was my birthday over the weekend. This year just happened to be the open dye day that was up at Blue Moon Fiber Arts, which is in my little town. And so I had signed up for that a couple months ago. And it was also part of that day is you could buy yarn at a little bit of a discounted price. And it was kind of their seconds. They're millins, so some of them, and they're all beautiful, and I can't find anything wrong with them, but maybe the color wasn't the color that they wanted it to be, or maybe there's a knot in the yarn, so they didn't want to sell it at full price. So I picked up some yarn, and that was early in the morning, and then I went home and went back for my dye appointment, and I had so much fun. I knew I was going to go do this, and I couldn't decide what I was going to dye. I thought, now I'm going to have this blank canvas, and what do I dye? What color do I dye? What do I want? What am I going to make it for? And I thought, I had talked about the Pure Joy pattern, and I had picked up or bought some yarn off of Etsy and online that I thought I was going to use for it. And I thought, this is my chance to make my own yarn for it. And so I decided on yarn that had that was an MCN, so merino cashmere nylon. I had never used that blend before, and I thought, why not make it, kind of special? So I didn't know. I just they kind of run you through how you go about doing it, and they just let you loose. Like, here's all your dyes and a table to work on, and you have 2 hours. So I just grabbed purple because I know purple is going to be a color that is going to work. And so I decided I want just kind of a tonal. I have a lot of variegated yarns and a lot of yarns with a lot of different colors in them. And I thought for the Pure Joy shawl, I wanted to do something more solid. So actually, I'm going to show you. It's in my little bag here, because I've already started knitting with it. So I dyed 2 hanks of yarn. One I did in purple, like I said, tonal. And then the other, for that, thinking of that, I did a pink. So you're going to see it in its caked up form. So here's the purple that I did. And it's, it's just a purple. I don't even know what color, lavendery purple. And it's got some really nice shades in it. And I really approached it not with the idea that this is going to be my masterpiece. I really just wanted the experience, and I wanted to just kind of learn how it goes, and it goes really great. So that's my purple yarn. So that's the body of the shawl. And then this, nuts. Okay, now I'm all tangled up in here. Okay, this is the pink yarn that is going to be there's like eyelet rose and then a border. So this will be that. So it's got a little bit of shades of lavender in it. So I started, so then I didn't have the pattern. I just knew it was a pattern I wanted to get. So I had gone up for the sale, bought some yarn, and just kind of absorbed just the fun atmosphere there. And I thought, I still have enough time, and it's only 15, 20 minutes away. So I came home. So when I came home, I got back into service and saw that Michelle from Naughty Knitwits sent me the gift of the Pure Joy pattern. And I thought, what great timing, because that's what I'm getting yarn for. So that just made me super excited. So as soon as I could, I cast it on. So this is how far I've gotten so far. This is really nice yarn to work with, I have to say. I think I want everything with cashmere in it because it's just... Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so lovely. So you're not seeing too much of the eyelet color because it's in an eyelet, and there's not a huge contrast, which is okay with me because I love both the colors. I love the fact that this is yarn that I dyed on my birthday on a pattern, on a pattern that I got on my birthday. And so this is going to be my birthday joy. And I'm loving working on this pattern. It's very easy. It's pretty mindless knitting. And it's just going to be, doesn't go with my shirt, but it's going to be so pretty. It's just, I love this. I just want to work on this all the time. So having that experience of dyeing, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to just dye all of the yarn. This is just too much fun because I didn't try anything all wacky. I didn't try an experiment because I knew that I just wanted something tonal. But once I had that, and I didn't want to like grab, 10 skeins of yarn because that gets expensive. And I only had 2 hours to work with it. So as my yarn, once it was done and then it's cooking and it's doing whatever it's got to do, I kind of walked around to see what other people were doing, and it was just so inspiring to see other things that people were trying. And a lot of the people that were there have done this before, and so it was not their first rodeo, and so they were playing around with it a little bit more, and I thought, I'm good. It was my first time, but I had all kinds of ideas of things like, oh, what if I did this, and what if I did this? So I may start dyeing yarn. Honestly, I gotta give it a try because that was a really great creative thing. I don't know. And it's new, so that's exciting. So I'm really being cautious of not just jumping into it because that's what I have a tendency to do. But you never know where things can lead, and I'm not going to not do it. I mean, it may not be yarn that I ever sell. It could just be stuff that I just dye for myself, but I'm definitely going to give it a shot because it was really fun. And I got to try it. So we'll see what happens. That just totally sparked something for me. So, if you want to get yarn from Blue Moon Fiber Arts, this is really lovely. It feels so soft. And this is on their Cloud 9 base. So you had a selection of several of their bases, depending on what you wanted to make. So this was their merino cashmere nylon called Cloud 9. And then I did dye something else, and I don't know why I grabbed it, because it's honkin' big. This is their Silky Victoria, and it's a Polworth wool and silk, and it has almost 800 yards. And I thought, I'm enjoying my campsite shawl so much, and I'm not done with it. I'm still getting through it. I'm going to bring it with me camping because it just goes with camping. And I just really kind of wanted a variation of gray. I don't know why. I just thought that just seemed like it would go with everything. And because I don't know what I'm doing, I mixed up the colors, like for this I used black, and I watered the black down, and I started with one end that's a little darker, and then I mixed up more. After I used up all that, I mixed up more black and diluted it more, so it graded it a little bit lighter. And then I got to the end of my skein, and it was like I ran out of stuff again, so I just thought, let's throw some turquoise in there. So there was still a little bit of black in the thing I was mixing in, so it's a really muted blue turquoise aqua color. But here's the full skein. So this I think is going to be my campsite shawl. One thing I didn't think about until I got home was I don't know how I'm going to wind it. I can't wind this big thing because it's huge. This is honking. So I'm on the market for a larger ball winder because I don't want that to limit me. I don't know if I go into a yarn shop if they'd wind it for me because I didn't buy it there. But I'm not ready to cast it on yet, so I've still got time to figure it out. But yeah, that was kind of fun. And it was, really, I didn't spend a lot of time. I hate to say that. I didn't overthink it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I didn't overthink it. And I love all the yarn that I did. So I did the 2 skeins with the cashmere and then that big one. And it sparked something for me. So stay tuned. You never know. You never know what can happen. So I just was flying high. I came home and Jim was helping a friend do some stuff at their house, and he came home and I'm just like, just chattering. I was so excited about everything that I had done, and it was just so fun. And then that evening we went out to dinner with my mom and dad and my son and his partner, and so it was just a lovely evening. Just nothing fancy, just some Mexican food, and it was just a wonderful day. So then yesterday I went over to a friend's, and my friend had a big get together with our friends for just some dessert and just to get together. And so that was wonderful. I have the greatest friends, and I just feel very loved and very full of love. And so it was a good night. So I may have some bags under my eyes because we were out kind of late last night, but it was fun, and it was really nice of everybody to come out on a work night. And yeah, it was all good. So I've had a really good week. In spite of everything that's going on right now in the world that just seems to be really difficult for me to handle. So I keep focusing on the love and the good things, and just really focusing on keeping busy and, just all the good stuff. I'm usually in front of my design wall, but today I'm not because I just have this smaller piece, and so it's easier to show you this way. Plus, I really like the way the lighting is facing with my windows really right here. And so, I don't know, I may decide to do it this way. I don't know. That's how I'm doing it for today. So, as far as this piece goes, this was something I did in 2011. And I had gotten this book by Robbie Joy Ecklo, and she's really well known in the quilting industry, and particularly for art quilts. And I just was fascinated. For one, like, who doesn't love all those colors, right? And her technique is to use fabric, and she dyes her own fabric and uses that and does these designs just fusing fabric on, and it's just it's her technique that she shows. But she had this pattern in here, so she does it out of fabric fused on. I did it with fabric just quilting it. So I took this piece of fabric that I had dyed copper, and I don't know why that piece spoke to me, but it did. And so I traced the pattern, because the book comes with a pattern. I traced it onto the fabric and then just quilted it. And quilting it with different designs in each little section. I'm not sure how much of it really shows up on the camera. And then I took Shiva paint sticks, which are, they look like a fat crayon, and they're an oil paint stick. And I colored in the different areas with the different colors. And when I quilted it, I had an idea of where I was going to put the colors. And so I quilted the different sections in that colored thread. And then, so when it's painted, it all kind of goes together. So it's just a really cool piece. It's tiny. I mean, I don't know how, it's like maybe 18 by 12 or something, if that. And I just hot glued it to a canvas that I painted black. So I just bought this inexpensive canvas at Michael's, painted it black, and then hot glued the quilt to it so that it can hang up like you would a canvas. So I did this kind of as a memoriam, in honor of, or a memoriam of, I'm not sure how you put it, of my son James. He passed away in 2005, and he played guitar. And so this is kind of like James's guitars. So I love it, and it's just a neat piece that hangs downstairs. And so that's my little art quilt. That's my little backdrop today. So yeah. So let me show you. I just real quickly want to. I want to talk about the knit along next, because that is going to run through the end of June, and it is a chemo cap knit along, crochet along, make any kind of hat for donation to patients that are going through chemotherapy. We've had several people posting their finished hats now that it's been going for a couple of weeks. People are finishing up. Denise, you rock. Thank you so much. She has done several hats, and she's doing it in honor of somebody that she works with that just passed away right when this knit along started from cancer. So people are just making just neat hats, and I want to comment on all of them, but in the finished object thread, I want to keep that as just the finished objects, so when I do the random number generator to pick the prize, then it's not skewed. And then today I didn't realize that I was in the finished object thread and I was commenting, so my own comments are in there. I may end up deleting those before I pick the number. I don't know. I'm the one that messed up. Like, you're not supposed to chatter in there, and I was chattering. So I wasn't paying attention, but great hats. Everybody's doing such a great job. There's a neat one with the bow, and the one that looks like Doctor Who. I don't know what it is because I don't watch Doctor Who, but I recognize the little symbol. It looks like an elevator or something, or a phone booth. I'm not sure what, but I mean, like, really elaborate and neat hats that are being made and going to be sent to different organizations for chemo patients needing hats. So if you want to join us, please go over to our Ravelry group, the So Now What Ravelry group. God, I've got itchies. My allergies have just been driving me crazy. Sorry. And over in the Ravelry group is a thread. So there's a chatter thread, which is what I was supposed to be posting in, and there's a finished objects thread. So June 30th, I'm going to close the thread and do the random number generator and pick a person to get a prize. And so thank you to everyone who is participating. Thank you to everyone who's still working on them. You still have a couple of weeks, so you're good. Hats are really great take-along projects. I'm taking a couple of patterns and yarn to make hats while I'm camping. And it's just been really exciting. The warm fuzzies, I've needed them. Really seriously, I've needed them. And it's been great, and I really, really appreciate it a lot. One of the things I want to mention about the chemo cap cow is Shauna over at Adelaide Cottage is doing a knit along, and her knit along is Stitching for a Cure. Oh gosh, I forgot the name of it. Sorry, Shauna. Basically making something for someone who is going through chemo, or in honor of somebody that you knew that had cancer that maybe has passed. And I contacted her to see if we could double dip into her cal, and she said absolutely. So you guys, double dip, triple dip, skinny dip, I don't care. Just make the stuff. If you skinny dip, don't post the pictures, because that I don't want to see. But I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So Adelaide's Cottage, she has a podcast. She's lovely. So you know, anything that you've made, you know, maybe go on over there and contribute to her knit along as well. I wanted to show you the yarn that I got when I went up to Blue Moon. I was really kind of concentrating, like I said, on getting things that were semi-solid, you know, tonal kind of things to go with some of the yarns that I have that are more colorful and variegated. So I picked up some I think really pretty colors. I don't want that bag to make a lot of noise, but it will. Got a couple of different greens, a really bright kind of acidy green and a really good olive green. I got a really lovely soft gray, but it's like almost like oyster gray or something. I don't know what they call it. So they don't have the names of the colors, but that'll go with a lot of the things that I have. Then of course I had to pick up purple. So these are all Socks That Rock. It's all socks yarn, the lightweight sock yarn. This beautiful blue and green kind of variegated tonal. So it's got some real pretty colors. Yeah. And then this one I actually surprised myself that I bought it because it's not a color that I would wear. And I saw it and I picked it up and I thought, gosh, it's interesting. I don't know why I like it, but I do because I don't wear brown. Honestly, I don't wear green. I bought a lot of green. So I'm going to start wearing more green. But I'd put it away, put it back down, hang it up, and I'd walk around and I kept going back to it. And I thought, I've picked it up 4 or 5 times. I'm just going to buy it for whatever reason I meant to buy it. So it has kind of this really lovely kind of mocha color to a darker chocolate color. And then you've just got the natural with some green and sort of a mauve-y color. I think it would make beautiful socks. So because I don't wear this color like with clothing, it would be fine as socks. I don't care if my socks match what I'm wearing. so yeah, that one, and I was like, I shouldn't get it. I still really like it. I'm really glad I got it because I think if I hadn't, I'd have thought I should have got that while I had the chance, because it's not a color I would pay full price for. It's not a color that I would like order online, like, oh, I gotta have that. But seeing it in person, I don't know, it was really nice. Very soft. Maybe there'll be gift socks for somebody. So those were the bargain yarns, I guess, that I purchased. I'm going to try and, there we go. Yarns all over the place. Millie's over here on my counter wondering, what the heck? Who are you talking to, Mama? So, that, and then, guess what I got, you guys? I got a Mrs. Brown's bags. I am so excited. I love this color, and when I had seen it, of course you can't get her bags. They sell out like as soon as she posts them on. And I was in bed. Jim's sound asleep. I was reading, and I was like still not feeling tired enough to fall asleep, and I really wasn't into whatever I was reading. And I thought, let me just go on Etsy. And she had just just put some on her shop, and I thought, seriously, these are available? Like, I can get this? So here I am in bed. Like, luckily I had money in my PayPal account and I was able to buy them, and I thought, like I was being so sneaky. So I got a Mrs. Brown's bag in her periwinkle color, and it has like this periwinkle polka dot. So this I'm taking camping with me, and it's got my Cozy Knitter sock yarn in it. I've showed that last week. So yeah, I got myself a Mrs. Brown's bag. Super exciting. So another thing I'm taking is my monkey socks. So I showed the whole completed sock last week. So this is the other one. This is with the Inversibles yarn that is from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. So this is the finished sock, which looks better when you have it on a sock blocker. But can you see how it's like the same color but not the same color? Because this one's gray with the aqua as a accent, and this is aqua with the gray as an accent. So these are going to be really cute socks to wear. So that's coming with me camping because that's good camping knitting. And then I haven't shown you my campsite shawl in a while. It takes a lot longer to get from one end to the other now because it's growing. I don't know how many stitches I have on the needles with it yet because I just keep knitting along. So where this marker is, where's the marker? Like right here. I think that's the last time I showed you. So I've made some really good progress. Which way am I going? I'm going this way. So I've made some really good progress because even though that's only 8 inches or something, it's a lot of stitches. I'm going to need to be moving it to bigger cable here pretty soon, probably. I can still squish it a little bit, so it'll still be okay. But this is the Blue Moon Fiber Arts. Blue Moonstone is the color. And this is the Silky Victoria. So this is the same yarn as this that I dyed. Similar color, I know, but this is more gray. But it's been really nice. I really like working with it. It's nice and soft, and I think it's making a pretty shawl. So that's coming with me camping because you can't go camping without your campsite shawl. And And then I've got, like I said, I've got a couple of hats that I'm bringing, and I really should just call it good there. I have a tendency to bring way more than I could ever possibly make. And I'm always afraid, like, what if I'm just sitting there and not doing anything? I have books downloaded on my tablet. We aren't going to have electricity or internet service, or probably not even cell service, which will be really good. So it's a good time to just unplug and just enjoy and be in nature. And I need to do that. I need that refresher. I need that recharge to do that. The area we're going to go camp by a lake. And one of the days that we're gone, we're going to go do a hike up on a mountain. It's called Three Fingered Jack. And we had hiked that when we did our PCT hike back in 2014. And the day that we hiked over that, it was really rainy, and we hiked up into the clouds. And so you couldn't see anything. It was like being in the fog, which is what a cloud looks like. We didn't know really where we were. I mean, we knew we were on the PCT, but we didn't know like where we were in, like what mountain were we coming up on, what were we doing. And we got, I have a picture. Actually, during that PCT trip that we did, that 3 weeks that we hiked from Crater Lake to the Oregon-Washington border, I kept a blog. And the blog is called hittingthetrail.wordpress.com. And I kept entries and kind of journaled my trip. So it starts from the prep that I did and how I dealt with my food and all that kind of stuff, to our actual days on the trail. And so there's a picture that I think Jim must have taken it, because it's a picture of me, and I'm down. He's up here and I'm down, and it was just these switchbacks that went down, 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 down. And I was just like going down into the dragon's lair. I mean, we didn't really know where it was going, and we just kept going down into this fog. And as we hiked through it and got, a ways away from it, then it burned off, and we turned around and saw, we were just going over Three Fingered Jack. So we really want to go back and see it and do that part of the trail when it's clear, to see kind of what we missed. Because any other time we hiked, we could always see where we were. We could always see around us, even if it rained or hailed sometimes. You could still see, but that day we were in the cloud and we just couldn't see. So we're going to go back and kind of explore that. It's going to be hard because I'm not nearly in the shape I was 2 years ago when I did the trail. So it'll be a little slower, and we'll just go up to the top of that. We won't go down, because then that means we got to come back up unless we're feeling super energetic. But I'm excited to see that and take pictures of that area, when it's in the daylight, when it's clear and we can see what we're doing. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go check out the blog, and you can kind of see what we did. Okay, that little quilt that I showed in the beginning, the little video in the intro, that was a quilt that it's a row of a quilt. So it's part of the row by row experience, and I don't have all the details because it's not something I've ever followed, but different quilt shops design a quilt row. So you collect these patterns and kits, I believe, from the different shops, and then you put all these rows together and it makes a quilt. So that row is the row for the Mama Made It quilt shop. And if you go on rowbyrowexperience.com, you can get the information about all the different states and the different shops everywhere, and getting that pattern if you're interested in it. It runs from June 21st to September 6th. You can get prizes if you've made the whole quilt. So I don't know how many rows that means, but there's prizes, and the pattern's free. You can get a kit, and that varies depending on what shop you go to. You can go to Facebook for pictures, and you can go to the website, which is the rowbyrowexperience.com, for a list of shops. So that was really a fun quilt to quilt. It was little, but it was really fun because I got to really play with it. So I think it's really adorable. It's not my style as far as it being more on the primitive side, but it's super cute, and it was fun, and I think it would make a cute just a simple, like a little wall piece or something, just the way it is. So anyway, if you're interested in that, go check that out. Follow that link, and I'll have that link in the down below part in the show notes, and anything else that I've mentioned, any links will be down there. That's going to be all for me today, and I will come back to you after the knit along is finished. So please keep knitting those hats. Post them in the FO thread. Chatter away in the chatter thread. Denise has done a really good job of showing different patterns and different hats that she's made, and they're in the chatter thread. And I've gotten some new hat ideas that I'm going to be trying. So please keep knitting those hats, and I will see you guys back here at the end of the month. So spread love and be kind.